Hello everyone, my name is Alex, this is Oliver. Today we have a sucker. Show him, Oliver. Can you say sucker? That's close enough, buddy. Alright, so first of all I want to say, sorry it's been a long time since I made a video. I wanted to make one in between here and the last video. I was too busy getting married. Yeah, check that out. So that's what I want to talk about today, is the next part of her breeding cycle, where we're at. And this is going to be an exciting video. I have some great news for you guys. Stay tuned, check it out. So from the last video, you guys saw we ended with the pre-ovulation shed and the glow. So 40 days after that date, it is March 31st, we have an ovulation. Now why is ovulation so important and what is it? So ovulation is when the sperm meets the egg, and we are for sure going to have eggs. That's what makes this so exciting, and that's why ovulation is so important to spot. But how do you spot it? What does it look like? Well, let me show you. I'm going to start out showing you this picture before I show you the videos to show you guys one of the #1 ways you can tell that your female is ovulating. Now, if you look at her tail, you'll see that line that goes down to the bottom of the tail. That is what is known as tail suck. You will see a ridge in there that really sucks in, and this picture doesn't do it justice. That's why I have a video. But I wanted to show you this is the #1 way you can really tell. And the #2 is, and I don't know if you can see at the bottom of this picture like I can, her belly will enlarge to a great degree. And I've heard people on different YouTube channels say it looks like they've eaten like a big old Nerf football. So let's go check out that video and you guys can see what that looks like. So that's what ovulation looks like. Now I want you guys to know that ovulation actually takes place in a 24-hour period. So if you just so happen to miss it, it's okay, because we have the next stage, which is the pre-lay shed. The pre-lay shed is important because it's really when you want to start your countdown time, because after that comes the second most exciting time, which is eggs. So we'll wait for that day. Next month, hopefully. Today is April 25th, which is the end of the pre-lay shed. The start of the pre-lay shed happened on April 17th, but I wanted to wait till the end of the pre-lay shed to really start that countdown. So technically, 30 days from today, around 30 days, because the time span is actually 30 to about 50 days after the pre-lay shed comes off, is when you want to start your countdown for eggs. But I want to show you an update on that shed, like I showed you in the last video, where you can see how much bigger she's gotten. So we have an update on the Wallace shed. Now I'm going to go from the bottom up when talking about these. So to start out with, we have 2 weeks before she started her first ever breeding back in October to Oscar. And I say about October 21st, around there, I think that's what I said. And then to move from there, we have her pre-ovulation shed that we showed in the last video. And from here you can see how much thicker she's gotten, especially in the back area where the egg, or at that point the follicles were forming. And then since we've already had ovulation, above that you can see how much thicker she's gotten from that in her pre-lay shed, because these are now follicles that have been turned into eggs. And if you look here, you can vastly see right here where she's gotten thicker, and even right here. Now she is thicker right here too, if we pulled her out, but she is the shed did not show that for some reason. I think just how the shed came off, and you can see how big of a gap from the tip of the tail down to it, and that's how you could really tell the difference. See here, it kind of just goes up in one motion, and it kind of ripped there, so that doesn't do it justice. But that big of a gap here really shows how much thicker she's gotten, and it's all the way up here. Well, up here you won't have eggs, but down here you can see really how thick she's gotten. So that is vastly how different that they grow from at the start of the season and around the end of the season. So we have a pre-lay shed, so now we wait roughly about 30 to 50 days. Now, 30 days is usually the standard, so I'll be watching that. So from today, it should be May 25th on Saturday when we have eggs. I'm excited for that day. I'm going to be counting the days on the calendar. I will see you guys then. Guys, everyone, this is a big deal. we have eggs. She did so well. I'm so excited. So if you noticed in all the videos up to this point that I'm speaking like this, I'm wearing the same shirt. That's because I recorded this all afterwards of those videos that I showed you, like the ovulation. I recorded the ovulation on that day, and I showed you afterwards. But the reason why I'm telling you this, I want y'all to see that my reaction is very authentic. So today is Wednesday, May 22nd. So she is actually 3 days early, 27 days. I was excited. I was not expecting it. I was waiting for this weekend. I thought I was going to have like a Memorial Day weekend video on this. But Wednesday, May 22nd. So she did well. I'm sorry, guys. So I took a video of me taking the eggs out and putting it all in there. And I'm going to show it afterwards. And the reason why I'm telling you that is because I do want to put a little warning out there. I had to remove her from the eggs. And that means that she is mad at me. She thinks I'm taking her kids from her. I mean, well, I guess I am. But so she's going to be striking at me, or at least try to. She didn't actually this time, but be prepared. This is what normally would happen. She'd be striking, trying to bite at you. And she's raveled around, and her tip of her tail is underneath the eggs. And the eggs are in a big group, and she glues them together. And sometimes she kicks out an egg. And in this case, she kicked out one egg. And you still want to check on that egg. Just because she kicks it out doesn't mean it's not any good. And in this case, the one that she kicked out was still good too. I'll show you what I mean. But what I'm saying with the warning is that I had to grab her behind the head here on the neck. And it looks like I'm choking her as hard as I can. I'm actually not. I'm actually leaving a gap this big. The struggle is her pulling her head out, trying to, and it's catching on her chin. So I am not choking the snake out. I promise you guys, I am not abusing my animals. I love my snakes. She matters too, even though I'm excited about the eggs. I am not abusing her. Please understand that's what's happening. And also you will see in this video where I remove her tail and in the hopes that she wouldn't flip her eggs over. Now, I think she might have mildly moved them, but they weren't flipped over. Let's go check that video out. So let's candle an egg here. And you see those veins in there? Yeah, you can kind of see it. It's focusing. That's how you know your egg is good. That, and it's large and it's white. If it was a slug, it'd be like half this size, and it would be all brownish looking, and it'd look all funny. So these are 10 perfectly good looking eggs. And now we're going to leave it here as they are. So why the red X? The red X is to keep them on the orientation that the female had them at. So because you don't want to flip eggs. It's not like chicken eggs where you flip them over every once in a while. These you want to keep still the entire incubation period. So I'm going to put these away and let them incubate for the time they need. That cooler that you saw my eggs in is actually my homemade incubator. And if you guys would like to see that in a different video, let me know. It's just because there's eggs inside it right now, I won't be able to take it apart and show you until after the eggs are laid. But I can do that for you if you would like. So let us take a look here at my temperature and my humidity of my incubator. So as you can see here, my temperature is 88 degrees. And your sweet spot is actually 89. And that is the temperature of inside the egg box, not on the outside. On the outside of the egg box that you saw the eggs in, that plastic tub, you will have to adjust it at the very beginning of when you start breeding your snakes. Don't wait till a month before. Don't wait till 2 weeks before. Get the parts in, all you need, and how you want to do it. It all depends on you. Do some research. Look on YouTube at other breeders and see how they do it. But I would absolutely advise not only you homemade one, home make one, but I would advise for you to get it ready very early. Now, if you have a huge collection, I would advise you to go buy a big one from someone. But if you only have like a couple eggs or a couple females or one that's breeding this year like me, I would definitely advise you to make one at home. So that is my temperature. Let us look at the humidity. Now, humidity is 99.9. That is exactly where I want mine to be at. They say the lowest you want to put yours is at 95. Everyone does theirs different, though. I know some people go lower, some people go where I'm at. It is up to you. I want mine high because I know the eggs need a lot of humidity. Now, that is humidity as in water in the air, not as in they are wet. If they're wet, water can get into the eggs and drown the snake themselves. So make sure they are not wet. I would periodically check on your eggs, but I would not let water get on them. Be very careful with that one. They can drown, and that is exactly what I've been testing too on this whole time when I've been setting up my incubator. To see that everyone makes mistakes, you'll see in that last video I said they were red X's. They're not. They're black X's. I know. And normally I would just, reshoot it real fast, but I don't want to keep those eggs out of the incubator any longer. So, just know that I made a mistake. So now the eggs are taken care of, let's worry about our female fettuccine. First I want to weigh her and kind of get a look at her and see how much smaller she's gotten since she's laid those eggs compared to before. And then I want to wash her and wash her tank to kind of wash the smell of the eggs off to get her eating sooner. In nature, normally they would sit around those eggs for another 2 months and they still wouldn't eat. But we have the opportunity, because she's domesticated domesticated enough, I guess, to put her eggs away from her, kind of help her forget, I don't actually know, but to get her to forget that she even laid those eggs and to get her started eating again. And then it was, I'm a little small, I need to eat again. And to kind of get that process started. So let's go do all that. So here she is, and I am showing you her like this because I want to show you how thin she is right afterwards. It almost looks like I've neglected her for her size. Look at that. She's really thin. And here in a moment, we're going to get a weight on her. But here she is right afterwards. I'm not going to hold her for too long because I got to wash her off and I'm going to wash out her tank. So, tell everyone what a good job you did. There you go. All right, well, let's get a weight on her. So before I weigh her, I want to remind everyone that the day that I put her in for her first lock, she weighed 2,180 grams. So now we're going to officially get the weight on her and see where she's at as of right now. To see where a good starting point is, because we want to get her back up to weight for possibly breeding next year and just for her overall health. For a snake her size, we want her to weigh more. So let's look at it with the top on. Wow. I do not know if you guys can see that. We are at 1650. That is nuts. Because if you guys don't know this, between when she started locking to all the way up to when she got to her heaviest point right before ovulation, she gained 700 grams. So at one point she was 2,800. That is crazy. So I'd say actually technically a little less, but you understand what I'm saying. So here she is. Let's get a good look at her. And there we go. We got a weight on her. Now let's wash her up in her tank. So now we're going to soak her in this water here. It's just regular old water, heated to about 98, a little bit hotter than I would like it, but I wanted to stay hotter longer to give her time to soak. I'm going to let her soak probably about 10-15 minutes, and that's why I have it up a little higher. But the point of this is get the egg smell off her so she will start to eat again. Alright buddy, let's get you in there. Let's get you soaking. Let's see how you do. Get you soaking. Okay, I know you're not having a good time. Let's get you in there. Okay. Yeah, get back in there, buddy. You gotta take your bath. And there she is. See, she has a little room in there so she can breathe. But she's mostly submerged in that water. And that is the point of this tub. So now that she's washed off, I'm going to advise you guys to clean out her enclosure, top to bottom, as best as you possibly can. Get rid of her substrate, put new substrate in there, clean off all her hides, every corner of them, every corner of the enclosure, the heat panel, everything, depending on how you do it, how your enclosure's set up. And even if you have a tub, if you have a rack system, give her a new clean tub and new flooring, all that. New water, clean everything out top to bottom. I use Dawn dish soap. Not much of it. It don't take much, but I still did a lot of it. And then wash and rinse that thing repeatedly. I'm going to advise you to do that. I'm not going to record it. It would be so long, even compared to being sped up. It would still make this video so much longer than it needs to be. But that is the next step. And then put her in there and let her just rest. Obviously, she gave birth. All of you out there who are mothers and understand how you feel the day after giving birth, probably sucks. I can't imagine. You're probably hurting beyond measure. I don't know how to explain that. But let her rest, and then I'm gonna wait a week later to try to feed her, see if she eats again. She was always a good feeder since the day I got her, so I'm imagining she's gonna eat very well. I'll give you all an update on that one in a different video. But that is why you clean her and you clean her enclosure. Well, everyone, that's the end of my video. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for asking about me. A lot of you guys have asked me, oh, when's the next video coming? Oh, when's the next video coming? And as I said at the beginning, I just got married, and there's a lot of things that's been going on to keep me from making these videos. So I am sorry. I am glad I was able to make another video for you guys today. 10 eggs, guys. 10 eggs. That is a lot. That is a lot more than I was expecting. Whew. And the reason why that's a big deal is because it gives me more of a chance to get ultra-male babies, because you have to get a copy of them from both parents. And with this, the more eggs there are, the more chances are you have to get it. Because I'm probably only going to get like 1 or 2, possibly 3 ultra-males, if any at all. There's still a chance I won't get any at all. But we're hoping. We're hoping for the best. July 16th, that is 55 days from when she laid her eggs. That is when the next video is going to come out, about that weekend afterwards, actually, because I want to wait for them to come out of the egg as well. I'll do an egg cutting. I will show the snakes afterwards, after they came out the eggs, and we will go from there. I want to encourage you guys who want to breed ball pythons and breed snakes in general, or breed reptiles. If this is what you love to do, and if this is really what you want to do, go for it. I believe in you. Pay attention to your snakes. That is the number one advice that I can give. Pay attention to them. Do your research and be prepared in the beginning. Don't wait till the last minute to do anything. Be prepared. I believe in you guys. You can do it. Why is ovulation so exciting? Ovulation is when Oliver yells at me. Alright, well, check this out. We're in Oliver's room, and he's in here yelling at me because he wants to change the... Oliver, what do you want? You want me to change the videos? Even though I'm making one of my own for the snake people? Okay. Well, let me change your video for you. Well, now that ovulation is... This dude, what are you grabbing on me for? What do you want? Oliver, quit. Quit grabbing me. What do you want? Quit hitting me. Quit hitting me. What do you want? You want a sucker? You're telling me you want another sucker. You've already had one this morning, as everyone in the video saw, and you want another one. Well, this dude. This is how he asked me for food. Alright, let's get you something, buddy.